Aloha, friends. Ever write a to-do list so long your to-do list gets overwhelmed? Yeah, same here. If any of you are familiar with ClickUp, that's my favorite project management software, and it is essentially just multiple to-do lists for all kinds of projects and things. And I have so many different sections in my ClickUp for all of the different areas and departments of my business that sometimes I forget that I even made the to-do list. I was having a chuckle with one of my clients this week over just that very thing. And we were going through his ClickUp and he was like, "Oh, I already put all of these follow-up tasks in here." And we just take on so much as solopreneurs. Or here's another one, the Netflix guilt cycle, right? You sit down to relax and watch a show, but all you can think about is the work you should be doing. You're shooting all over yourself while you're trying to watch Squid Games or something. Anyway, spoiler alert, that's not relaxing. I can completely relate to that. My workspace is my living room. Overwhelm is a real thing in solopreneurship. Burnout is a real thing. It is so easy to just keep focused on all of the things that we need to do all of the time and forget to fill our own cups. So today we're tackling burnout with a mix of practical advice and some fun soul boosting ideas. So what are some of the signs that you are burned out? Chronic fatigue, irritability, procrastination, HALT, and it stands for hunger, anger, loneliness, or tiredness. That's kind of a good little tool for you if you're ever feeling any of those things, hunger, anger, loneliness, or tiredness. Then you are approaching burnout. You really are. We've become used to feeling tired all the time, but that's actually not our natural state. And we need to pay attention when those signs are presenting themselves. As solopreneurs, we are problem solvers. We are helping the world solve problems and find solutions. We care so much about the world and making it a better place that we are especially prone to it. Not only that, but we are wearing all of the hats in our business. We represent every department of our business. That makes us even more prone to burnout. Let's turn our attention towards this. Let's be conscientious about it so that we can bring awareness to it and manage it and keep ourselves in balance. Burnout is like trying to run a marathon with a flat tire. You're going nowhere fast. It is not a sustainable way to live, and eventually it will catch up with you. What are some tips on overcoming burnout? Consciously making time for it. Schedule it on your calendar. In the corporate world, they have sick days and personal days. And if we're not intentionally taking breaks, eventually it catches up to us and our body forces us to take a sick day. But it's way better if you intentionally take personal days, like plan out in advance of the year. But me as a business owner, I don't have to do that if I don't want to. That's actually one of the challenges of being a business owner is that when you don't have to do something, you might not actually do it. If you do have a partner who is still in the employee world, they're submitting time off to their company. That's a really great time for you to think about, when am I going to take time off for the year? Maybe even work on it together, leveraging something that is already happening in your life. So it makes it easier. It lowers the barrier for you to actually accomplish it, right? So it's actually a really smart thing to do. Let me know if you try something like that, or maybe you already do something like that. And if so, recognize that that is an excellent practice that is helping you manage potential burnout and avoid it. One of my favorite things is just allowing myself to take it easy in the morning when I don't have meetings coming up. I allow myself to have my journaling time, trusting that even though I have all of these things on my mind that I need to do, if my body is telling me that I need some rest and I need to take it easy, I also take that as a sign that maybe it's not time for me to act right now. Maybe it's actually time for me to relax, allow spirit to take care of things behind the scenes, because we're not doing it all. We have a part to play, but there are a lot of other players in the game. Situations need to kind of have time to come into alignment for things to unfold in our lives. We're not the only orchestrator of things getting done. If we were, that would be a whole lot of a burden to bear. Try to work in like little fun things throughout your day. Just go out and take a quick little stroll around the block. Just being out in nature will actually lower your cortisol levels. Another thing is understanding the power of delegating and saying no. So let's start with delegating. As solopreneurs, it might take you a little while to get to a place where you're ready to delegate. So if you're not in a place where you're feeling like you can delegate specific parts of your business yet, a great place to start delegating, which was the place that I started delegating first, was cleaning. I hired a cleaning lady because if my goal is to advance my business, I need to be putting in as much time into that business as I can. But we only have a limited amount of time and energy to put into things. So if my goal is running my business to the optimal level, then cleaning my house is not helping me get closer to that goal. So it's actually a really great investment of my time and energy to pay someone else who is running their business based around that service. That's a really easy one to delegate first and foremost. Saying no is another one. We all have these times when someone invites us to something, but yet we have like a whole bullet list of things to get through, but we say yes anyway. And then later we're like working into the night just to make up the time. Do whatever you can to allow yourself to say no when you actually want to say no because you have other priorities. I'm a virtual assistant and I am an example of someone who you could potentially give offload work to that you don't like. I take on work from my business owners that they don't love to do. Things like organizing their back offices, organizing their filing system, managing their email inboxes. That's huge. Email inboxes take up a lot of your time and attention. And if you can delegate that to someone else, they can take that off of your plate from you and save you time. Anything that you repeat over and over again is something that you can delegate. You can write instructions on and delegate to someone. And especially if it's something that you hate doing, I can guarantee you there is someone out there that actually loves doing it and would do it better than you. So we need to think of self-care as a strategy. Understand that not only billable work is work, but rest is part of that work as well. Rest is such a critical component. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise all impact productivity. I think a lot of us solopreneurs who are in the digital workspace and who work online, I'm sitting down a lot and I have a very sedentary job. I include exercise as part of my rest. When I don't get exercise and movement, my body starts to ache a little bit more. Those are days when I try to exercise. But the rest is part of the work. So if our brain is constantly trying to figure things out, it's not getting a break either. It doesn't allow the ideas to kind of integrate and take form. When we take time off of work, we take time to be inspired. We're able to recharge our internal battery so that we can sustain our business long term. If you don't give yourself that time to recharge, then eventually your cup gets empty and you can't keep going. Maybe we can set some joyful goals, reframe it as being just as important as the billable work in your mind, and then actually schedule it on the calendar as if it is that big of a priority, because it absolutely is. You want to reconnect with the why of your work, right? If you feel like you are hustling so hard, you forgot why you started your business in the first place, then that is a huge sign that you need to reconnect with your why. My biggest why is freedom and spending time with my loved ones, being present. I regularly have to remind myself of that so I don't fill my life only with work. I suggest that you do the same. I am constantly writing down my goals and things like that, and I'll go refer back to them to remind myself of them, or even just putting something on a post-it note to remind you of your why keep it top of mind. Just like all of those marketers out there are trying to keep things top of your mind, why not take control of what you are keeping top of your mind? Another little joyful goal you could incorporate with your week is self-care Sundays. Sundays are a day I always take off, and I love to call them self-care Sundays. And so on self-care Sundays, I love to work out, as I mentioned a little earlier, Netflix and chill and have minimal screen time. Again, I am at this desk so much throughout the week that I really need to balance out screen time and work time with rest time and play time. You get fun and creative ideas when you are playing, and it reconnects you with what you would love. It stimulates your imagination and helps you clarify your vision. I want to challenge you. Share your favorite way to recharge in the comments. I've shared a whole bunch of mine. If you share something cool in my comments, I will give you a shout out in my next video. What ways are you incorporating rest and recovery into your life so that you can overcome burnout? Burnout is not easy, but you have got this. Just take it one step at a time, one day at a time. If you can't take full vacations just yet, set your intention to do it eventually and see where you can work it into your day in little pieces. Be easy on yourself. You are here because you are succeeding. Remember that this challenge is an opportunity your old self that wished they had, or that someone else who is not as far along as you wishes they had. So don't forget to subscribe for more solopreneur survival tips. I know that we can overcome burnout together. You've got this. Until next time, lots of love.